Oh yeah, Sexy Biscuits. Nice.
Long Bros 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975, and welcome to the Wednesday vlog. Although realistically, it's probably going to be Thursday by the time this comes out, because when I record this bit, I've still got to capture most of the game footage. But those of you who follow me on Facebook will know what I wanted to do for this week. I've been playing so many 2D, scrolling, and that's the point here, scrolling beat 'em ups of late. And particularly when I was playing Final Fight on the Mega CD, made me realise, how much I love this genre. It's funny because if you stop to think about it, there's games like Portal 2 that push, the gaming envelope in whole new directions, try something completely different. There's stuff like Tetris, which excels on the fact that it's such an unbelievably simple idea. And then there's side-scrolling beat 'em ups, which you could argue are the most well, they're like the blue-collar worker of the games, aren't they? They're the most unoriginal, almost to some degree, if this comes across in the right manner, the least effort could be put into creating a game of that type. But they're also pretty much the backbone of the gaming industry. I think everyone, if you were asked to name 10 off the top of your head, not necessarily your favourite, you could probably go above and beyond. If you're from my generation, then basically I'm pretty sure you first discovered side-scrolling beat-em-ups in the arcade, and then as they slowly trickled down onto home computers and stuff like that, at least for me, I fell in love with them. And then the highlights of the era of side-scrolling beat-em-ups for me would be the Mega Drive. Sorry, SNES, or Super Nintendo, sorry. The Mega Drive or Genesis just had better side-scrolling beat-em-ups. So I've compiled my top 10 list. As always, I've written this on paper because I'm cutting edge tech-wise. So majority are arcade, a couple of home systems, and a couple of consoles, and a couple of home computers, British home computers. So that's probably given away what it is. But it's funny as always when you sit down to compile a list like this. Excuse me, let me wash away my gacky throat. I had liver for tea, I love liver. With some Pepsi Max aspartame goodness. Yeah, it's funny, when you have to sit down and compile a list, particularly when you have to limit it to 10, which is really difficult within itself, you actually do kind of surprise yourself with what ends up there in the specific order, I should say, that it does. Aspartame, you failed me. So let's get into this. Number 10 would be Double Dragon in the arcade. Put a bloody shirt on, and what's wrong with your head? Oh shit. The uppercut is just satisfying me great. Oh bollocks. I always did find the weapons in this a little bit annoying, particularly if you're standing over them. Oh fuck, look at you, Hogan. When you stand back up after getting twatted, it means you just, oh, can I pick it up? Now I know the contents of this list are probably going to cross over into quite a few of my other sort of top 10s, but then that's to be understandable, isn't it, when you think about it? What the 10 list I'm doing here is fighters across all systems, so that's a no-brainer. But Double Dragon, I think, is it the first side-scrolling beat 'em up? Well, no, you could argue that Renegade, I can't remember what the Japanese name is because that's a reskinned version, is probably the first mainstream side-scrolling beat 'em up. I don't know. See, it's interesting. Do you consider Kung Fu Master with its pagoda or pagoda thing? I don't know. To me, the first one that achieved real success and fame on the level that it did, and everyone wanted to pump money into, would be Double Dragon by Technos. I loved that game, absolutely loved it, still love it. And I'm talking about the arcade because, again, I've said this so many times, but it just reminds me of that Westwood Ho arcade game, and I smelled of fish and chips, and it was next to Joust and Commando, I think, and I adored it. I'd never seen a side-scrolling game fleshed out like that. You had a world, visually it was nice, you had this relationship with the other person fighting, and by that I mean when you got to the end you had to fight over your bird, and chunky graphics, good moves, a fair challenge. It was, I guess you could say, and that's why I fell in love with it, that the side-scrolling beat 'em up had arrived in style.
Now, number 9 would be X-Men, the arcade game by Konami.
Where's my health? Oh, that's not good, is it? I do like that. You know, the same mechanic as in Turtles, isn't it? Where the blokes pop out the background all out of doors and stuff, and into the playfield. Right, hang on. Let's just do it. Ooh. It's funny, I was talking to someone the other day about this. You can count the number of decent X-Men games on one hand. I think it's
This is the thing though, same as many other side-scrolling beat-em-ups, does nothing new other than you've got some powers and it's based on the X-Men. But being an absolutely huge X-Men fan, I loved it. And I think also to some degree I have nostalgia and misty-eyedness attached to it, because the first time I got to play it was in Comic Connection, which was in a little suburb of Boston when we went on holiday into the States to visit my American uncle, or my dad's brother, for the first time. So we used to hang out. My parents used to dump us in this comic shop. The owners were brilliant, and we just used to, spend the morning there working out what comics we wanted to buy. And they had this 4-player arcade cap, and so I just have so much nostalgia attached to it. And again, it's X-Men. That's why I love it. Did I mention it's the X-Men? It's the X-Men. Now, number 8 would be, again, by Konami. They were boss back then. I don't know if it's the same game engine. Number 8 would be The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. In 1991, you were still funny. I'm always amazed that this never got a port to like 16-bit home systems. I think there's a there's a Commodore 64 port in the US and a DOS port. But look at it. You know, even as old as it is, it perfectly, captures the Simpsons essence. Especially when Homer flails like a mad bastard like that. I mean, look at the detail in the background. Ow, you bitch. Rusty Barnacle. Oh look, there's me. Sweet, see, attention to detail, fantastic. Obviously it's 4-player. I'm Billy No Mate, so I'll be playing a 2-player. Yes, nice. There you go. I am a wiener.
Now this was 1991. Again, I have a massive amount of nostalgia to it. Does that make it a bad game? No, I remember, same as X-Men, I remember it being a good game, but I played this in a place called the Winner's Circle, which was over the road from a Walmart in the suburbs of Boston. Are we noticing a theme with this yet? And it's like how, and this was obviously, the Simpsons exploded in 1991, didn't it? It was everywhere. I remember the merchandising in the stores over there that I bought back as gifts for friends was ridiculous. But yeah, side-scrolling 4-player beat 'em up. How do you make a game of The Simpsons? I think beat 'em up, as with most licenses, is probably the best route to go. Because if you look at all the home system ones, like Bart versus the Mutants, Bart versus the World, Bart's Nightmare, Bart's Shit is more like it. They're all terrible. But The Simpsons arcade game, yeah, it was a beat 'em up, but it had the essence of the show because of the way the characters in it, Seymour was a wiener written in the background and stuff like that. It had stylized humour, amazing animation, in between level games like pumping up the balloon and stuff like that. It just reeked of The Simpsons. Again, maybe because we used to have a burger and chips when we went to this place, and I think they had Mad Dog McCree as well. But yeah, maybe that's why I love it as I do. But Simpsons, it's got to be number 8 for me every day. Now, number 7 will be Final Fight by Capcom, 1989, in the arcade.
Well, there you go, Final Fight. We've all seen it a million times. But sometimes companies just absolutely nail something and get it bang on the money. And this is that version of that game. The original. The best. I mean, look at it. I love the graphics. They still hold up now, if you ask me. Even my weird elongated leg. And the epic Bruce Lee sound effects. Well, to be fair, that's every Hong Kong movie sound effects. Which is clearly where they took it from.
Now, I think Final Fight pretty much makes everyone's list. All the home ports, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Mega CD version and stuff like that, but all the home ports just don't live up to Final Fight in the arcade. It's not really their fault. I mean, the original, I had it boxed in my Super Famicom port. I mean, I had, warm memories of it, but you play it now, it's absolute bollocks. But I think the reason we like Final Fight was, yes, we'd seen Double Dragon and stuff like that, but Final Fight was badass. The sprites were huge. There were so many on the screen at once. You had 3 badass characters, you know, the bad guys and stuff like that, when you had like the hookers and stuff like that. It just felt like Double Dragon was taken to the next logical step, which was, it was grown up. Right, it's easy to say that now with these types of games when kids these days would look at it and go, how can you say that's grown up? But you got to remember, for me then, having come from stuff like Double Dragon, you know, and The Simpsons and things like that, although that was after this, but you know what I mean. Final Fight was something else. You know, brilliant story. Rescue your daughter or your girlfriend, depending on who you play as. You know, it's proper balls horrifically hard. You have a get out of jail for free move, but it replenishes your health. You got weapons, you find food. It's just something really crunchy about the combat in it, and the backgrounds are absolutely superb. So yeah, Final Fight, I mean, it was a no-brainer. It was going to make it in this list, wasn't it? Now, number 6 would be Teenage Mutant Ninja or Hero Turtles, again by Konami. Was this 1989 or 1990 in the arcades?
Oh man, so much nostalgia attached to this game. Probably because it's a show. Again, Konami's fighters, they were ahead of even Capcom back then. Side scrollers, that is. Just look at it. I mean, is it the same engine as The Simpsons and... No, you don't. X-Men? Look, apparently I'm made out of asbestos. I've always wondered this though, right? I mean... where exactly do they get their money from to build this many fucking robots? Wouldn't it just be cheaper to recruit real people? I mean, it's Cartoon Land. They're always a dumb bunch of fucking idiots who would want to be a henchman. Epic music. Oh, obviously, the first time I played this was actually called Hero Turtles. Oh, you fucker.
I think no other reason, and I played this in Westwood Ho, that I absolutely adored this game, and I played the Hero Turtles version, because obviously in the UK you couldn't say the word ninja because people would die. But yeah, it was everywhere. It was on the, you know, the cartoons. It frequently got mentioned on the news. It was really hard to get action figures because they would do cough for Nintendo and put them out in such few amounts. Hey, there you go. They were the Nintendo of their time by controlling their market with the toys. And you know, 4 players. They had the music and the intro from the cartoon. It looked like the cartoon. I mean, it was just super linear, you know, just a side-scrolling beat 'em up. But it was Turtles, and all the characters were in it. It was well animated. It was graphically brilliant, and it was fantastic. And it was weird that this, right? It did eventually on the NES and on the UK home computers, but it always amazed me that this never got a home port on the 16-bit consoles back in the day. Yeah, Turtles in Time and the Manhattan Project are on there, but why not this game? I absolutely love this game. I sank so much more money into it, and I don't think I ever finished it. And I still love it. It still, excuse me, holds up really, really well. Now, number 5 would be Namco's Splatterhouse in the arcades.
Oh, bollocks. Oh, what a waste of a spanner. I'm such a spanner. Bollocks. I'm really not very good at this, am I? Ah, you could do Coupon Day in this as well. So it's funny, you know, how you remember something being, before you revisit the arcade game, you know, like the PC Engine version being such a good port, and it's faithful in the sense that it's got the feeling, but it's obviously quite a weak translation. Again, you know, that's what you'd expect.
It's funny, I've argued this. Excuse me, aspartame, do your stuff. It's funny because I've argued this with so many of my mates that for some reason, because of its horror theme, I don't know how this even works, they don't consider this a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Yeah, you go to seek... Well, I've got gameplays on most of these anyway. Seek shelter from a storm in a house, you pass out, wake up, you've got the terror mask on, and your bird's missing, and all kinds of shit hits the fan. Now, again, you thought Final Fight was adult as a kid. That's why we loved this. It was like, holy shit, I'm Jason Voorhees. The sound effects were amazing and booming. You could twat people against the walls with a 2x4 and they'd splat into slime. There was a room full of maggots and stuff like that. There was a haunted room. The bosses were absolutely amazing, but I just liked it because it was just like, holy shit, it's got gore in it. And it played really well. And it kicked my ass. And the PC Engine version's awesome, not so much the TurboGrafx. But they didn't make the list. Yeah, Splathouse, number 5. I got such a soft spot for this arcade game. If I ever see it on my travels, I'll pop in a couple of quid for sure. Now, this might surprise you, surprise me, but I had to stop and think about it. Number 4 would be Vigilante by IRM. Again, 89?
I don't know why. I love the graphics in this, right? So you got punch, kick, up is a jump though, which is a bit irritating. But check it out, right? Oh, obviously it's got Kung Fu Master timing. Thud. Manly noises. Oh, what am I doing? Fuck! That little school girl who's scared on sign, she'd do well to be scared. I am. This game is balls hard, but now I'm Bruce Lee, motherfuckers. Ow! Oh, you can do it in the air. Now, check it out, right? Real tough guys. They're not afraid to dress like a painter decorator from the early 80s and 90s. Why? Well, because if you said you look like a dick, they just kick you in the face.
Balls horrifically, even by the standards of the other sort of fighting games on it, because in Double Dragon and Final Fight you had an up-down mechanic. This you don't, it's just simple left to right. I mean, I guess you could argue it's the spiritual successor to Kung Fu Master, but even harder. But again, I liked it, because it had that adult theme, you know. I thought the graphics were absolutely fantastic, but it had that adult theme, didn't it, where it was kind of, what were you, the guardian angels? Clearly you were supposed to be a guardian angel. Your girlfriend called Madonna gets stolen by a gang, and then you just scroll from left to right. Graphically really nice animation, big sprites, colourful, pick up nunchucks, right, you're wearing dungarees and look like a bit of a twat, but yeah, it was just that more adult vibe in a game again. Can you see how easily pleased I was as a kid? But yeah, I mean, I can still never get past level 2. I don't care. Again, as with lots of these, there's a sense of nostalgia attached to each and every one of them. And again with this one, but yeah, I mean, I guess lots of people will probably look at this and just go, wow, some of these are really odd choices. And you know what, like I said, taste is subjective. But yeah, always had a, and that's why it's quite high up in this list, I know that. I have a massive soft spot for Vigilante. Now, number 3, no-brainer, Golden Axe by Sega in the arcades.
Time for a drink. And I'm too cheap, so I need this. Oh, bollocks. That works. Yeah, go and join your mate. If you're quick enough, you can save him. Oh, bollocks. Maybe you could sing the Baywatch theme as you do it. Whoosh. Oh, you lucky bastard. Ah, no you're not. Because you're thick, innit? Right. That was a bit annoying. You either got to give up on your attacks because you seem like you're locked in. That's all versions. Although I've never played the PC Engine CD version, I would love to play that bad boy. Boom. Alright. Someone please think about the children.
Yeah, the Mega Drive is a really good port, and the Master System has a really good port, but the arcade game does it for me. I've never forgotten the time I first saw this. You're like, holy shit, it's like a Sinbad movie. It's like Ray Harryhausen did the effects. You know, the Skeleton Warriors riding dragons as vehicles, you know, with projectile attacks and stuff like that. Those big dudes with hammers kicking the shit out of dwarfs to get magic, and then the magic, and the 3 main characters or 3 main protagonists. I mean, everyone wanted to play as, you know, the dude with the golden axe, but yeah, few games, particularly, and I guess you could call it a slash 'em up, but let's be honest, a slash 'em up and a beat 'em up are pretty much the same thing, aren't they? But few games left such a mark on me as this did back in the day. I mean, graphics I still think hold up amazingly, but I do remember knowing that I was going to an arcade in Westwood Ho when I was going there with my dad once to clear out our holiday home. It was just me and him, and I had an issue of Mean Machines, and I was reading the review of it again and again and again, because this is even before I played it, but I knew this arcade was so fucking good that they would have it. And yeah, when I got there and they did, it just left this amazing, you know, impression on me. It's just like, shit, it's fucking Sinbad the Sailor or Clash of the Titans in video game form, and the bad guy's called Death Adder. What's not to like? Now, number 2 might surprise you, the order of the top 2. Number 2 would be Streets of Rage on the Mega Drive, or in my particular case, Bare Knuckle.
Yes. This game is absolutely superb, and it's a perfect testament to everything the Mega Drive and or Genesis did so well. And you fucking lay your hands on. I sound like Michael Caine. Don't you throw those bloody spears at me. Love this game. Love this game so much. It's a criminal waste that I haven't played it as much as I should do. Ow. And I will fix my bare knuckle copy. I will. You shall go to the dance, bare knuckle. You shall. Right. Music's so good. Oh, kinky. I mean, I got a problem jumping and flying kicking and shit in my tight jeans, but how the bloody hell do you fight in, well, red leather? Oh crap, wasted my knife. Bollocks. That's how bloody hard I am. I just punch phone boxes and they explode. Look, would you eat food off the street? Fuck it, I did the final fight. Which this is better than.
Now, rumour goes, and I don't know how true it is, I mentioned it before, that there was going to be, before the Sega CD or Mega CD version of Final Fight, a Final Fight on the Mega Drive, and then whatever reason they couldn't do it, so they turned it into this. True or not, I don't care. Streets of Rage to me is far superior to both the Final Fights, the original two on the SNES. Can't say about the other two, never played them. Great characters, unbelievable music. How often do you get to see that the Mega Drive music blew away the SNES's music? Just, it's legendary, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. I prefer it to the sequels. Again, I had the Japanese version, trying to hide a stealth Windy Pops there. Had the Japanese version, bare knuckle. Just superb. Just absolutely superb. You know, again, you know, left to right, pick up weapons. I mean, how Axel did those moves without ripping his groin in those fucking jeans is beyond me. They made Patrick Swayze's jeans in Roadhouse look loose, like khakis. But yeah, I just, you know, I remember when I got it, I don't think I left my room apart from pissing and eating for 2 days. And my mates would come over and we'd play it, and it was just, we'd always argue over who would be Axel. But yeah, graphically fantastic, still holds up, musically amazing, you know, definitely still holds up, an absolute classic. It has the edge over the sequels to me. I don't know why, it just does. But second favourite beat 'em up of all time. Now, number one, really probably going to surprise you, but again, it's the impact it left on me at the time that I've never forgotten. And that, yes, you're hearing this correctly. All the others are arcade or Mega Drive games. Target Renegade on the ZX Spectrum.
I love the fact that your lives at the bottom are basically being represented by Fonzie. You dead? Let's go. Screw it. There we go. I can't remember their other weapons. But if any of them are half as satisfying as this, then disco, baby, disco. Sweet. It just goes to prove, you know, I know I've got warm fuzzy, you know, goggles and a woody for the Spectrum, but it just goes to show that it was more than capable in the hands of decent, talented programmers, i.e. Ocean. There we go. I like the fact that specifically I have to go up before I can leave. Oh, I'm answering the phone. Am I? Nice. Very butch looking lady. Check it out. She's got Popeye arms. It's got, no, hang on. Oh, I'm quite surprised they allowed that. Obviously it's on PC land then.
I think part and parcel why I love this game so much, and it's my favourite beat 'em up of all time, was because of the impacts and effect Double Dragon had on me in the arcades, and there was no home port of it. And I had the original Mega Drive, original Renegade on the Spectrum, which was a fantastic port of the original Renegade game, but it wasn't a true side scroller as such. It was only 3 screens. Yes, it scrolls sideways, but not on and on and on and on. Ariston. Points for the quote. And so, because Double Dragon did eventually come out a port by Virgin Mastertronic on the Spectrum, and it was absolute horseshit. I refuse to do a gameplay of it, it's that bad. This plugged the gap, but the thing is, not only did it plug the gap, not only did it take, and it's you know, there is no Target Renegade arcade game. It was, but then they optioned the right to make their own sequel to the original game when they bought the rights to that. But yeah, it's a side scroller, it's simultaneous 2-player, which is a mean feat on the Spectrum. The 128K version has amazing music. You had weapons in it which you didn't in the first one, like swinging a sledge. Your flying kick now propelled you through the air, so you could, you know, properly lamp the blokes on motorbikes. Multiple stages, long stages, difficult stages. Everything about it graphically fantastic. The animation was amazing. The hit detection was absolutely superb. It started off, it's providing me with a chance to play a Double Dragon, you know, 2-player game with my brother. We even took the computer that time to our summer holiday caravan so we could carry on playing it. Screw going out and going to the sea and the beach and stuff like that. I want to fucking play Spectrum games. But yeah, it started off as giving me a chance to play a Double Dragon variant or clone, but ended up as basically better than Double Dragon. You know, would I say it's better than the arcade Double Dragon? Don't know. Probably do have more nostalgia for this, even without factoring the smell of fish and chips. Yeah, it started off as a stopgap and became my quintessential favourite side-scrolling beat-em-up of all time. Probably also because the Spectrum's my favourite system of all time. A game of this type, this competently done and programmed, existing on the Spectrum itself, adds nostalgia to it. So anyway, that might be quite surprising, but these are my 10 favourite side-scrolling beat-em-ups of all time. What are yours? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.